Or death. This nightmare will finally end. I'm
Hello everyone, in this video I would like to show you how my Power Siphon and Kinetic Blast Raider dealt with some of the hardest content in the game. I've already made a build guide for this character, so if you'd like to watch that, please check the description. This video will be purely gameplay. I was able to take down all the big bosses deathless, except Uber Elder. I died once to desync, as you will see in the clip, but in the end the build had insane single target damage, a great clear speed, and it was fairly tanky for a dodge based character. And if you want, you could probably give up some damage to get more life and survivability as well. If you are planning to play this build, at the end of this video I will go over some questions you might have, so please check out that part of the video as well. For now I'm going to leave you with the gameplay. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next one.
My mana is gone.
a real talent. You finally caught my attention.
Your lives are meaningless! Be utterly annihilated! Why resist? Rain on stars! Obliteration! Be utterly...
The others found strength in their possessions. They became reliant on it.
My mana is gone.
This city is nothing. Be utterly annihilated. Fury of the cosmos. Obliteration. Pointless. Fury of the cosmos. Be utterly annihilated. Why is this?
Life interesting enough to warrant all this pain.
Your lives are meaningless! Glorious waves! Creation itself! Fury of the cosmos! Pointless! Glorious waves! Be utterly annihilated. Fury of the cosmos, you are nothing. Glorious waves. Creation itself. Obliteration. You everlasting fire.
You belong for
Beyond, there is only horror.
I These memories are mine. I cannot lose them.
They lied to you, Father. I'm your true memory.
To save the future, the past must be sacrificed.
We need to close this.
In this part of the video, I will go over some important stuff, some like possible questions you might have. You can like check the timestamps on the screen to like skip to a certain part that sounds interesting to you. Okay, if you feel like you have similar gear to me but your damage is too low, like as I've mentioned in the previous video, our wand doesn't have any base damage. It says no physical damage. So as you can imagine, most of our damage comes from abyssal jewels and then like gem levels. So keep in mind that like the level of your added lightning damage gem matters quite a bit. Your power siphon will gain projectiles as it levels, and since we are using Barrage support, like more projectiles equals more damage. So you might want to like look into getting a level 21 power siphon as well in the end. Like also, abyss jewels are like a really important part for the build. So if you feel like the damage is too low, just make sure that those things are in check, and you should be fine. Okay, so if you want to increase your clear speed, one of the best things you can do is get piercing somewhere. You can either get it from the passive tree, like swap out some damage nodes for this, or you can also get it from your boots. Hunter influenced boots can roll that pierce mod. Pierce works really well with kinetic blast, so if you want to like increase your clear speed, keep that in mind. Okay, so for the implicit of your wand, Piscator usually has spell damage, and spell damage doesn't do anything for the build. This is like an attack based build, so your best bet is to get the added lightning damage implicit, but if that's not available, you can also go for these implicits as well on the screen. Anything will be better than spell damage, so just go for like whatever you can find. Okay, so I forgot to mention this in my last video. Smoke mine is something that you should definitely use. You can throw this before like metamorph encounters, conquer encounters. The smoke that the mine creates will blind enemies, and blinded enemies are 50% less likely to hit you. So I would definitely recommend using this gem as well as like a really good survivability boost. Okay, so if you're not sure how Malachi's Artifice, like Elemental Equilibrium and Vortex works, Vortex has two different portions, like the hit portion that occurs when you first cast it, and then it will leave a ground on the like ground, damage over time ground, as you can see. That part will not apply Elemental Equilibrium, this damage over time, so you can't like pre-cast Vortex before the metamorph encounters. You have to actually hit the monsters with the initial cast. And the way Elemental Equilibrium works is that since our Vortex only does cold damage, it will increase enemies' cold resistance by 25% and then reduce enemies' lightning and fire resistance by 50%. So that's why it's like super important to not have any lightning damage in here, because if you have lightning damage in here, that will actually like mess up your damage instead of help it. So be aware of that. That's like super important. Okay, so that's all the questions I can think of. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. Maybe stop by the stream, I will answer you as fast as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next one.